Hello and welcome to the Daily Mail for Saturday the 11th of February 2023. Well, today was match day and what a day it was. As we expected, many of us expected, we went to QPR and won. First victory at Loftus Road for Millwall in 34 years. And we actually did it, went through with it. On paper, we seem to be the better team, and we went there and the players proved that they were. And this is the match report from millwallfc.co.uk. Watmore and Burke on target as Millwall defeat QPR. Yes, it's got an element of fate about kismet, preordained destiny. We signed two players in the transfer window right at the end, and they are the two players who scored the goals. So pretty incredible. It's the kind of thing that gets written in a script, but hey ho. Millwall were 2-1 winners over Queen's Park Rangers in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday afternoon. Duncan Watmore and Noveler Burke found the target Loftus Road to secure fifth away victory of the campaign despite Chris Martin's late goal for the home side. Yes, as expected. The player that they signed for free agent signing, got the goal. Gary Rowett made one change for the trip to W12 as Watmore, for his first Millwall start, came in for the injured Mason Bennett. Romain Esse meanwhile took a place on the substitutes bench. Tom Bradshaw and Ilias Chair traded chances as the game got underway in West London, with the Lions playing some nice football amongst a higher QPR line. Watmore almost ghosted in for a chance of 13 minutes, but he was ruled out by an offside flag. Chair's dangerous cross had to be gathered by George Long as the R's looked to carve Millwall open at the other end, before Sinclair Armstrong's ball into the area suffered the same outcome. With 31 minutes on the clock, however, Millwall had the lead, and in emphatic fashion. After Zion Fleming did well to hold off his marker, despite being fouled, the Dutchman then found the unmarked Watmore, who rifled home a left-footed attempt into the top corner to open the scoring. Yes, remarkably, unbelievably, that was Zion Fleming's first assist. He hasn't scored in a while, but if he starts getting assists as well, that would be very helpful. Yeah, if you watch it, so obviously they've got him probably tagged up as a one to watch. Don't let him get the ball. So three of the QPR players swarmed on Zion Fleming. And there's literally like just a massive gap on the left. And who's over there? Duncan Watmore runs into the gap, and even though there's three of them around Zion Fleming swarming him, they don't really close him down or get the ball off him. They just give him the time to get the pass off, and boom, it's a goal. Chair then curled an effort just wide of Long's near post as Rangers looked for an instant response, with Jamal Lowe shooting just over moments later. Chair again then failed to find the target as the half-time whistle began to come into sight, with the Lions going in and the breaker goal to the good. And this is another thing where you think it's like kismet and preordained destiny. We tried to sign Jamal Lowe, and he turned us down and went to Rangers. And after seeing his display today, you think, well, thank goodness for that. Did we get lucky there, or was that fate? That's the goal there. That's the goal. The first chance of the second half went the way of Millwall, but Charlie Croswell's header from a corner kick was saved by Seni Dieng. That feat was repeated just a minute later before another Chair shot, this time from the edge of the box, was easily gathered by Long. Goal scorer Watmore looked to double his tally by dancing through the QPR defence and firing into the side net with 55 minutes played, before the influential winger slid a ball through to Bradshaw just before the hour mark, but the Welshman found his shot blocked. Bradshaw had the ball in the net on 61 minutes, but he was denied by the linesman's flag as Fleming was offside, with the next Millwall opportunity coming the way of substitute Burke, but the lonely couldn't get a clean shot away after being played in by Billy Mitchell. The midfielder making his 100th appearance for the club. There were 12 minutes to play when Millwall doubled their lead. After the ball bounced towards the back post, there was Burke to pounce and slam home with close range for his first goal since returning to the club on loan. 4 minutes later, though, QPR found a way back into the game as Chris Martin nodded past Long, despite the stopper getting a hand to the ball to reduce the arrears. Yeah, they started pumping balls up to the big man. Not sexy football. I'm sure the fans probably don't appreciate playing like that, but that's what they were doing with Lyndon Dykes, and they had to start doing that with Chris Martin, and it kind of made it a bit of a rough last 10 minutes for us. Rowett brought Andreas Vogelsam and Jamie Shackleton on for fresh legs towards the end of the 90 minutes before some chaotic play inside the Lions box saw QPR almost bag an equaliser. Millwall, however, defended heroically to claim all 3 points. Yeah. At the end of the 90 minutes, they put up 6 minutes of injury time, and then the goalkeeper's coming up for a corner, right? And it was a bit of a. We nearly caught him out. So here we go. This is the team: Long, Wallace, McNamara, Cresswell, Cooper, Watmore, Honeyman, Saville, Mitchell, Fleming, and Bradshaw. The subs or Burke came on for Watmore, so the 2 new guys, one replaced the other. Shackleton on for Fleming on 85th minute, and Vogelsam on for Bradshaw 85th minute. Unused substitutes were Malone, Leonard, Biakovsky, and Essay. And there we have 15,335 fans, 2,797 Millwall fans. Yeah, I mean, wow. This is once in a lifetime. Like I said, 34 years ago. So literally once in a lifetime. I mean, how many fans were there last time we won there? 34 years ago. Not that many, so. And how many Millwall fans have been going home and away? Many seasons now. Probably, if you're in your probably 40s. Let's say you started going when you were 15, 16. So 34 years ago, you'd probably be late 40s. If you were going since you were 16 and now you're like 45. And you've been to Loftus Road time after time, and you've never seen us win there. Well, you have now, if you were lucky to go there. And like I said, it's just these little things, like to do this. It's like a hurdle. So how good are you? How good are we really? It's like a little test. How good are we really? Are we really that good? How good are we? It's a little test. So can you go to Loftus Road and win? Because you haven't done that for 34 years. And we did. All the players did. I keep saying we. I didn't do fucking jack shit. I just sat on my ass. But the players did. The players put in a lot of effort. Now got a day off, and they've got to come back in Coventry away on Tuesday, which is not going to be easy. But again, another winnable game, especially now our away form has gone absolutely crazy. We just keep winning away from home. I mean, it's unbelievable. No more draws. Draws are out the window. Away draws are out the window, but draws have snuck in at the 10. So we need to figure out why do we keep drawing at home. Although to be fair, the next 2 home games against Sheffield United and Burnley, draws will probably not be a bad result. But we will see. Let's see what Gary Rowett had to say about that. I'm sure he's quite happy. So this is from southwarknews.co.uk. Millwall manager reacts as new signing strike to down QPR at Loftus Road. The Lions secured their first win in W12 in 34 years, thanks to goals from Duncan Watmore and Oliver Burke. I don't know if you saw the video that I made yesterday about the history of the fixtures at Loftus Road. It's not like we haven't played there. I think we've played there like probably between 10 and 15 times since 1989, and we didn't win. Gary Rowett was delighted to help Millwall win away at QPR for the first time since 1989, after describing Loftus Road as a tough place to come. The Lions took the lead shortly after the yeah, we know all that. Let's not go through all that again. But Millwall held on to secure a famous victory against their London rivals. Yeah, our closest away game this season. Regardless of how long it was, it always feels like a tough place to come, Rowett said after the game. As a manager, I never seem to win here very often. With the atmosphere and everything else, it always feels like quite a hard place to get 3 points. If you look at the season, when they beat us at our place, I think they certainly enjoyed it. I think we'll enjoy it equally as much today. It was a magnificent performance. There were so many sides to our game that we did really well. I thought we defended really well. They're a dangerous side. They get to the ball. They get the ball to chair and low. Those little pockets behind in midfield. It becomes difficult to stop. I spoke to the players every 10, even 10, 15 minutes in. We turned them. We tried to get them into those spaces. You could see it was a game where, particularly down our left, we could play with a little bit of composure and then find Zion. Down our right, we can play 2v1, double up with the fullback and get into good areas. I think we started to do that a little bit as the half went on. We scored the goal, a very good goal. And that's what Duncan's in the team for. We've not struggled for goals, but we haven't had individuals getting to the levels that we need to win more games. I thought we looked he took it really well. It was great play by Zion. I thought Zion could have gone down for a foul, which I think we spoke about up at Middlesbrough. But he's a very honest player. He gets a kick to the calf but carries on. And it's all about the timing. There's a couple of moments before where he just tries to release Duncan. And he waited a little bit too long. Maybe Duncan was offside. I thought that was a threat for us down that side. I was right behind it. It looked like he was going to go and aim for the far corner low, but he's hit it high in the near corner. It was a brilliant finish to be 1-0 up. I thought it would be hard to say we didn't deserve it. And I was really pleased with that point. I thought we caused them some problems with set pieces. We had a couple of clear headers from the corners. And maybe we should have done a bit better. But I thought our delivery was excellent today. We were always a dangerous side. With Zion's long flow, Chrissy did flick it. I think their players did head it onto one of his own players and he dropped the back in the right place at the right time. He finishes it really comfortably. Not long after, he could have scored one of the best goals you'll ever see in the Championship. He won the header, he's landed, he's gone, and got to the next one and beaten about 3 players, but that's what Berkey can do. At times, in moments in games, he can be unplayable. I don't think anyone of those qualities can be unplayable all the time, but in moments he can be unplayable and probably should have gone and added another one. I think that was actually at 2-1 to make it 3-1. And then we make it a little bit nervy at the end, but you've got to say to QPR, they're not going to give in. It's their home ground. They're going to keep going. And that's a second wide free kick. I think it was the second phase. And that's the sort of area we conceded. It certainly isn't like us, so we're a bit disappointing. But we just about saw it out. We had to change formation about 3 times, but we just about managed to head it out of the box. Indeed, yes. Oliver Burke could have made it 3-1, which was my prediction in yesterday's video, that we would win 3-1. And probably should have been 3-1. Yeah, Gary out there, quite pleased. Yeah, very good. Very good. So, I think this is the same thing again from London News Online. I don't read these before I read them to you. I think it's the same quote because the headline is about. Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah, it's basically the same. Yeah, word for word, basically. Yeah. Apologies for that, but no point reading the same thing twice. So this is from southwarknews.co.uk. Duncan Watmore describes chaotic deadline day ahead of joining Millwall. Yeah, so on Saturdays in the mornings, Southwark News and the South London Press, they put up these stories that kind of get lost in the match day. Because if you don't read them before the match, then you're not really going to be bothered with them after the match because you're either celebrating the win or you're a bit pissed off at the defeat. So this is one of those stories. Duncan Watmore describes chaotic deadline day ahead of joining Millwall. The attacker made his Lions debut in front of a sold-out crowd at the Den against former club Sunderland last weekend. So again, the Suffolk News deciding to put Duncan Watmore as the heart of a piece in the morning, and lo and behold, he goes on to score. As Duncan Watmore is normally quite relaxed on transfer deadline day, but January 31st was a different story. For the first time in his career, the forward was set to move just hours before the end of the transfer window, after being allowed to leave Middlesbrough on a permanent deal. Michael Carrick's side were waiting to confirm the arrival of Aston Villa youngster Aaron Ramsey on loan until the end of the season, pushing Watmore's move to Millwall into the latter stages of deadline day. It was interesting because I've never really experienced that deadline day feeling. He told us it then. Sometimes you have to wait for all the paperwork to be done, and you're going to and from places, but it worked out all in time, so I was very excited about that. I think Middlesbrough were working on signing a replacement, but it was a few days before that, and we found out about the interest. It kind of progressed from there, really. It just got pushed back a few days until deadline day, but thankfully everything was sorted on time. Watmore became aware of Mill's interest the week before, after the club found out that he was available for transfer, sparking a series of conversations with manager Gary Rowett about why the move would be the best decision for everybody involved. They just showed their interest in me and how much they wanted me, he revealed. They laid out their plans, how the team's doing, and how they see me fitting in. And I was really interested and excited by the challenge and the opportunity. It was one of those things where I spoke to the manager, and I knew a few of the lads as well, like George Honeyman and Sav and George Evans. It's good when you know people, and everyone spoke about what a brilliant club it is. The 28-year-old was a regular starter in the early stages of his time at the Riverside Stadium. He was repaying that faith with a healthy goals tally. However, this season has been different, especially after Middlesbrough sacked Chris Wilder and replaced him with the Manchester United legend Carrick in late October. He was limited to short cameo appearances off the bench as a result, and it became clear that a move would be ideal in order to secure regular game time as a fellow playoff contender. I think at my age, you want to be playing regularly, he admitted. As I've said before, I love my time at Borough. It's a brilliant club. It wasn't a case of forcing my way out. I was very, very happy there. As soon as the Millwall interest came in and the opportunity to play more, I think it became clear it would work for all three parties, to be honest, Borough included. It was one of those things where I knew what I had to do, and now I'm looking forward to getting as much game time as I can. But obviously, that depends on my performances, which I completely understand. Well, he started today and he scored today. They got taken off he was the first substitution, so I don't know if they're just protecting him or what that was. Or whether they wanted to bring Burke on but didn't want to take Bradshaw off. They didn't want to upset Bradshaw. Don't know. Kind of weird, but whatever. So, that was the match day today. And this is where we are now. We are fifth. We are fifth. Yes, we are fifth. It's our turn in the playoffs this week. Will we stay there? Will we be there at the end of the season? Who knows? We are in the playoffs only by 1 point to Sunderland, who are on 45, so we're on 46, and we could drop down to 9th because West Brom have 44, Blackburn have 45, and Sunderland have 45. So we are spared Norwich, who did they lose today? To Bristol City. It was their last loss. Yeah, we are fifth on 29 games played, which is the lowest of everyone in the league. We've got a game in hand of Luton and Sunderland, Blackburn and West Brom. And we've got 2 games in hand on Watford and Middlesbrough. Although, as I've said before, our games in hand are against Burnley at home and Luton away, both taking place over the next 3 weeks. So, hey ho. Good to see today Zion Fleming getting his first assist as a Millwall player. It's kind of weird that an attacking midfielder would have had 10 goals and no assists. And to be honest with you, as a Millwall fan, I don't really care who gets the goals. I just want goals and I want wins. So it would be nice to have Zion get some goals and get up the top of the scorers charts, but if he can get as many assists as he's got goals, that would be absolutely peachy. So yeah, this is where we are. We're in a good situation. We know next game on Tuesday, Coventry away. Not going to be easy game, but it is a winnable game, especially with our away form now. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.